Hi there and welcome to the special edition of CoffeeNate. I'm Nate Smith, otherwise known as CoffeeNate. This week I interviewed Ben Schmerler from Fairtrade USA, and a lot of you don't know what fair trade is, what fair trade certified means. Some people think it's free trade or whatever, it has to do with NAFTA and Bill Clinton and George Bush and all that, but you know what? It is totally non-political, which is why I like it so much, because it does good work. And guess what? Doesn't require government intervention. So anyway, that's my little political spiel for today. But you're going to get an idea of what fair trade is. Ben's going to start out by telling you what fair trade does, what their objective is. And I ask a few questions, and you'll get a real idea and a sense of what kind of work fair trade does and exactly what living conditions are like for people who grow our coffee. You know what? I drink my coffee every day, and I never gave a thought to where that coffee came from, about the person who grew it. You know what? I didn't care. I just opened up the can and I drank it. You know what? I drank some nasty stale crap. I didn't know about good coffee then. And as I was learning about quality coffee, I also learned where coffee comes from and the plight of the people who actually produce the great coffee that I love. You know what? In a lot of those areas, it's not so great, and the conditions aren't that nice for the workers. Obviously, for places like Hawaii, it's not really an issue, but in other places around the world, Rwanda, all kinds of African countries, where there are some of the greatest coffees in the world produced, it's not that great for them. So there are ways that we as consumers can make an impact. And that's what I want to share with you today.
Fair trade exists because for a very long period of time, all trade models have been a model of inequality. And the idea for fair trade springs out of an idea of actually making everybody on the table have an equal say, an equal voice, so that they can actually reap the benefits of, cliche as it is, of the harvest that they sow. Fair trade has been a necessity in many countries around the world, and the idea is to create organizations that are more democratic, more transparent, where the people that are actually producing the coffee receive more of the benefits while protecting the environment. And the whole idea around it is actually just creating equality. Fair trade is equality. That is the idea. It's much more than guaranteeing a price. It's about protecting the environment, protecting the communities that are involved in fair trade. It's helping organizations manage their organizations more transparently and more democratically. A lot of producer organizations come from countries and different places around the world that have challenging political structures. And so it's helping them instill a level of democracy so that I feel that everyone has equal voice and has an opportunity to really reap the benefits of what they are producing. Fair trade has standards that are very, very rigorous environmentally. It has standards around labor conditions, freedom of association. There are many, many different types of social, environmental, and organizational standards that really create a framework that help build better organizations all around the world.
How does Fairtrade USA invest into the farmer as well as their community?
One way through the fair trade premium, that is a premium that is on top of the fair trade minimum price and or the coffee C price, depending on where it is traded at that point in time. But the fair trade premium is then given as a price premium to the cooperatives or to the farmer organizations for them to democratically decide how they will use that premium. It can be used in development projects like building schools. It can be used in quality improvements like agronomy trainings. Sometimes in certain situations it's actually used as a second payment for cash payout for some of the farmers so that they can put more calories on their table, whether it be to pay for school uniforms. There's many different ways. So I think that's one facet, and that is across the board in all fair trade. All fair trade products have some type of premium that goes back into the cooperatives or the farmer organization. Another opportunity that happens, the second facet of this, is Fairtrade USA's direct producer capacity support that happens in farm communities around the world. We do trainings and capacity building. We manage programs in agronomy. We help put supply chains together if there are challenging supply chains, and there are market partners on this side that say we want X product out of this country. We help work to make sure that that can happen, as well as doing that so that with an eye on it all being beneficial to producers.
Without the framework of the cooperative, what are their options?
In many situations, without the framework of a cooperative, farmers are subject to selling through middlemen and local market conditions where there's very, very little access to information about what's going on in the greater market.
Is that a widespread problem?
It is a widespread problem. Obviously, some places are more fraught with challenges than others. I have been lucky enough to spend the majority of my kind of formative coffee years working with producers on the African continent. And I will say in Ethiopia, Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, that is definitely the case. Farmers are very, very subject to local market conditions, and the local market condition is not really dictated by not necessarily information that's happening in the outside world.
Exactly what are their living conditions if they have to go through the middlemen? What is the typical living condition of a farming family?
In Rwanda and in Ethiopia, people are living on very, very low caloric diets in very remote places with challenging access to the capital, to any kind of means to improve the quality of their lives. They are very, very challenging.
Okay, but with the system of the cooperatives and fair trade, they're able to improve their own lives as well as the entire community, and with healthcare and education.
I've seen amazing strides and success in some of these communities that I'm talking about. There are, through the framework of fair trade in the country of Rwanda, there have been amazing strides in women's rights movement, with women's associations that are part of fair trade cooperatives that have been leveraging fair trade premium to build strong women's associations to educate women on all the kind of challenges that affect their lives. Obviously, in a place like Rwanda, it's a difference in because of the war in the 1990s. There are a lot of widowed women around there that are the head of households for the first time in the 2000s. And they have formed these very strong organizations that are working towards health empowerment, basically health education. They're learning how to account and manage their finances of their home. And they're learning to grow better coffee and to segment it and sell it for a price premium as a women's only product. I have also seen in Ethiopia fair trade premium going to very grassroots things, grading roads, and to putting in septic systems. I mean, in parts of these countries, there's no access to electricity, and so a lot of them go into buying kerosene lamps for their organizations. Very, very grassroots things. But I've seen amazing strides have happened. In one fair trade cooperative in Rwanda, I was told that over the course of the last 3 years, they've actually been able to put 80% of their kids in school, when before that it was more something like 20% of the children were in school. And now with the price premium, they're putting 80% in school. That's an amazing feat for organizations that are really, really kind of cut off from, for all intents and purposes, the modern world. These farmer organizations, these cooperatives, they're coming to it on their own. So it's not like someone is going in there and saying, you should become fair trade certified, or you need to do this and this. These are organizations that have seen it work in other places and have learned about it through other farmers who are saying, we really want this. We're seeing it help transform your communities. I mean, let's be honest, we're going to places that are very, very challenging. You don't show up in southern Ethiopia and all of a sudden there's a skyscraper built. But incremental changes of a school here, some graded roads here, a new septic system here, over time, really, really can change the landscape of these communities and the outlook for them in the long term. And, if our goal is to create equitable models of trade and to create good products and to have coffee so that you, Nate, and I, and all of our viewers can drink over the long term, this is something we need.
There's fair trade certified, and there's other certifications like bird friendly and and some other things are Rainforest Alliance, and it muddies the waters a little bit as to what purpose you're supporting. I just wonder, sometimes it looks kind of like it's a competition, or is it, we're all working towards this objective, and, just our organization can't fulfill that. So, all the help we can get, that's great. What do you think about that?
Fair trade is not just a certification. Fair trade is a movement that Oxfam, that university students, that my parents in Midwest are behind, saying, we really want this kind of fair trade thing happening. And another part of that is beyond just the price premium and the movement. Fair trade is kind of out there on the forefront, kind of pushing beyond some of the challenges that these organizations face, that the farmers face and the communities that they face. I hate to say that one is better than another and one is this way. We really do believe, though, that what we're doing is providing real impact to the people that are participating in this program.
I guess the thing is, for consumers, is to really seek out these fair trade certified products, in particular coffee, because because I drink a lot of coffee, and that's the most prevalent thing that I'm going to purchase that's fair trade. But it really does make a difference, and it's not because I don't say that I purchase fair trade certified products because I somehow think I'm better than people who don't. Most people who don't really know the situation, and it's because we're thousands of miles away, and it's so hard for us to believe that people can be in such dire need of just basic living necessities that, you can buy this brand of coffee instead of this brand, and you will be making a difference. And that's just, I'm gonna vote with my dollars, and I'm gonna contribute that way. And that's the decision that I've made personally. So, I just like to challenge people to, just really think about it and look into the reason why you're selecting the brand of coffee that you are.
I want to kind of build on that, Nate. It's an amazing time to be able to actually, like you said, vote with your dollar. Let's go out there and actually purchase products that are that have the potential and are bringing real impact to the people that are growing them. We want to buy coffee in the long term. We need to kind of belly up to the bar, for lack of a better term, to pay the product the cost of sustainable production, and to allow farmers who are producing this product to invest in their farms, invest in their families, invest in their communities, and ultimately invest in their countries. I was a fair trade activist a decade ago on my university campus, and now I'm here working on the fair trade stuff. The important part, again, as well, for all of the coffee folks that are out there, is that you guys, coffee people, you men and women who love coffee, who are looking at all these different models of certification and direct trade and all of those things that are out there, you have to really understand and commend yourself that you're also driving impact for producers of all other products. We are able to bring impact to cocoa farmers, we're able to bring impact to cotton farmers, we're able to bring impact to Haitian mango farmers because of this coffee movement that has been pushed so hard by so many great consumers, conscious buyers, people that are really into the cause, advocates, big business, small business. And so I want to commend everyone that is going out there every single day buying fair trade certified coffee, because that fair trade certified coffee actually brings impact to not only that farmer and to that consumer, but it brings impact to another farmer and another community all across the world.
People can say what they want about fair trade does this, but they don't do that. It's this and not that. You can't argue with the measurable successes and progress that have been made in communities and families across all the different growing regions, and as you touch on all the different products that can be fair.